So I want to kind of bring this into when you outgrown people, because when you outgrow people, like sometimes you could have outgrown that person because you feel like maybe, you know, they're just not really a good friend, or you may feel like that friend is a hater, or you may feel like that friend is jealous of you. And I'm gonna be real, you do have friends and family members that will be jealous of you, that will try to, stop you, that will, don't want to, they want to see you do good but just not better than them. If you have friends that, they only come around, when something happens, or when something bad happens in their life, or when they, kind of sense, because like I said in my first video, people watch you. So people can sense when like something is like off with you. And then I don't know why some people always want to come around when you are at your lowest. It's like people want to come around with you when you're at your lowest sometimes. And not all the time where people would do that, but you have some people who enjoy you being in your lowest state. And see, with those people who enjoy you being in your lowest state, you have to realize that at the bottom of your monument, because you don't want to get to at the top of your monument and realize that, you didn't gain that stability mentally to realize that you were sensing this energy and you have outgrown this person, because they only came around at your lowest. And then when you were like at your highest, they were never around because they didn't want to celebrate with you. You got those people that be with you at your lowest, but then when it's time to celebrate, they know where to be found. And you also have those people who are at you at your highest, and then when you get low, they're nowhere to be found. Don't get those two people confused. I don't want you to get those two people confused. And I know you're like, what? But that does happen. Some people are around at your lowest because, when people are really, really low and they're vulnerable and they're really not like really understanding, some people that are like haters, or who really like, who don't have love. And I said that in my first video too, people who've never really experienced real love, and when somebody shows them real love, they're gonna be able to kind of like sense, like, energy is everything. Energy is everything. And so energy is always gonna tell. But let me say this as well too. Let me say this with energy. Okay, now don't say that someone has bad energy when you the one that brought that bad energy in there first. Don't say that, oh, she has bad energy, or, oh, I'm sensing, because sometimes it could just be you that has the bad energy. I've made that statement before. I was like, oh, this person's energy is off, I have to get away, like, da da da. But I'm like, well, I was in a bad mood this morning and all of this, and I had to, like, kind of like take accountability and be like, okay, well, maybe it wasn't that person's energy. Maybe it was just simply my energy that was off, and that I needed to kind of like, cleanse and take care of within myself. But also, that does not take away from the fact that, you can sense, bad energy, or you can sense, hate, or you can sense when somebody's not showing you love, or you can sense when people are not being real, or you just sense so much. And also with that energy sense, I'm gonna use that for a better word, also, like, that spirit of discernment, like asking God for that, is very, very important, because you'll be able to see all of this type of stuff. With that spirit of discernment, he'll be able to show you, like, who you need to, kind of like outgrow, or who you need to break away from, or how you can what it is with your goals. And also with that spirit of discernment, like, it can definitely tell you things that at beforehand as well too, so that you won't have to kind of like get yourself in like a big, just a big state of confusion, because we don't want to get the spirit of discernment mixed up within our own, like how I said before, I thought that, that this person had bad energy, but really, like, it was me. I had to kind of like look and see, like, okay, well, I was the one that had the bad energy, but I'm thinking that I went in there with not the bad energy. So don't get those two confused. But back to the lowest and the highest, you don't want to get those, those two people mixed up. And you don't want to break that away from your monument, because that can break your monument down. And also right here, your the bottom is right here, but then as you get to the top, see, at the bottom, getting to the top, you can have like so many things that stop you, so let's say, like, you're down here, and then you just, as you're going up, boom, something happened. You had to outgrow somebody. Okay, then you begin to feel kind of like emotionally upset about that. But that still does not need to stop you. That still does not need to stop you, because you have somewhere that you have to go. Do you see how close you are? If you're right here and all you have to do is get up there, let's say you're trying to lose weight. So you're right here with trying to lose weight. Then you've been working out for like 2 consistent months, and then you stop for a whole month. Okay, so where it's like where like you stop for a whole month, but you've been working out for 2 months straight. So if you stop for a whole month, what have you done in that whole month? Maybe you were stressed. Maybe maybe you went back to, like eating unhealthy, or maybe you just decided to, like take a break. I know like when people work out and stuff like that, you have to give like yourself like that break. I don't really know. Don't ask me. I'm not no fitness trainer or no weight trainer, but some of the stuff that I've learned and heard, but don't quote me. But yeah, when all of that stuff happens, like trying to like get up here, and also mentally trying to get up here, like all of these, like trying to get up here, and it takes step by step by step by step. And then you also have this word called distractions. You don't want to ever get distracted or get knocked off your course. That was the whole topic of it. Don't get knocked off your monument, because it's so easy to slip off your monument when a lot of this stuff, and there's more stuff as well too, but these are just some of the things that as I was going through, I just wanted to kind of like speak on and stuff that came to my head. But all of those things, you don't want to get knocked off your monument right here. So you don't want people to be around at your lowest, but then they come around at your highest. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You want to go head on and already outgrow those people. In fact, for better words, cut it off. Go ahead on and cut it off, because them folks don't mean you no good. They want to be there with you at your lowest and be smiling, and there's some people who really enjoy when you're at your lowest, and it's so sad, but yeah. And then they come around and then they leave at your highest, because the reason why they leave at your highest, and I'm glad that I said that again, the reason why they leave at your highest is some people can't be happy for you. Some people can't celebrate with you. Some people just can't stand the fact that sometimes that you're in this spotlight. And so that's why I said like that song, Sunshine by Lotto. That song really stood out on me. And when I said about the whole sun, like the sun shines bright, and you want to make sure like that your light is shining regardless, and making sure like, you're not letting anything get you out like your monument, or get you off your course or off your element. Like, staying in your lane, staying in your element, staying on top of like exactly what you have to do and what you want to do in life, and really just believe. But them people that was there at your lowest but then leave at your highest, they can't celebrate with you. Why do you think that they was there at your lowest? They enjoyed that. They'll be back if you good at a low spot again. Trust me, they'll try to come back around. But see, that's why you got to go ahead on and cut it off. You got to go ahead on and cut it off. Already use that energy sense and that spirit of discernment to see, to see what's going on. And don't be naive. Don't be naive. Don't be stupid. Don't let anybody play you, or let anybody make you feel like, what you're saying is off, or like how you feel is off, because people have a great way, like manipulation is very evil. So a lot of people use manipulative tactics to try to throw you off your course. And it could be through words, or people would say stuff and then try to like switch it up in other words, or try to flip it on you. And that's a narcissist right there. When a narcissist tries to flip stuff and, flip it on you, or try to flip the script, don't always be on top of those manipulative tactics and narcissists, and people who try to, just those type of people in general. There's a name for those type of people, those narcissists and manipulative type of people. And there are other names for them as well too. But also, you don't want to get knocked off your course by any of those things. And this is going to be a part 2. And this video is 19 minutes long. So I'm actually going to chop this video up. And it's going to be a part 2 and a part 3. And I don't know, maybe a part 4. But I hope you guys took something from this video. And I don't want you guys to get knocked off your monument. I love you guys. And just don't get knocked off your monument. Remember, like, this is you. Like, this is you. And if you let anybody like stop you from your goals, or if you let anybody tell you how to raise your own kids, or if you you want to get in shape, like do the necessities that you need, don't wait on anybody. I know like one time, like I'm gonna use just like for an example, like my freshman year in college, like you know, I was wanting to go to church and stuff like that, and I was trying to, you know, get my roommate to go with me and stuff, and like, you know, she didn't want to go for whatever reason. Like, she didn't want to go, and I found myself like not going because they were, you know, they were not going. I'm like, well, dang, I ain't got nobody to go with, and I'm in a whole city, a whole new city and stuff. You know, that's why I said that that's another example that I use on, like, you know, don't wait on anybody. Don't wait on anybody for growth. Don't wait on anybody when you're trying to get, you know, these in check, when your goals. Don't wait on anybody. Time waits for nobody. Time waits for nobody. You have to get it for yourself. Love yourself. Appreciate yourself and where you are. Appreciate yourself even in your lowest. Appreciate yourself even in your highest, because once you come out, you're going to be really, really happy. You're going to be stress free, mentally free, and also emotionally free, physically free, because sometimes we can be bound by like the troubles of the world. And also, like, on the spiritual side, they also say like when you're bound and stuff like that is because like you're really like in sin and stuff like that. And if you don't really like fully understand all of that and stuff, I would say get you somebody that you can really trust, like a pastor, and make sure that that pastor is legit, and make sure that that pastor, you know, cares about your soul. It's important to have, you know, a pastor that cares about your soul, and a pastor that really, really understands, you know, you, and really, really wants to see you get into heaven. That is all I have for you guys, and I'm trying to make sure you guys like see everything, and also like with the spirits and stuff like that. That was like an example that I had used. But don't let anybody knock you off your course. If you want to start a business, go ahead. I salute you, and I pray your business is 6 figures and more. Get that LLC, have that plan. Now, even if you don't have a plan, please get a plan. I know some people be like, they was telling me, you know, you need to have a plan A, you need to have a plan B, but then there's some people have a plan A and have a plan B, but then there's some people who just like scratch out B. Plan A is gonna work, and that's the mindset that you should have. Plan A is gonna work because plan B is not really an option. So I love you guys, and I support anybody that wants to be great in life, and anybody that is, you know, dealing with, you know, mental stress or depression, anxiety, and all of that stuff. Don't feel bad, but also, even if you are right here, you always have room to get to the top of your monument. I love you guys, and I hope you guys took something from this video, and it's Life Aspects with Visionary Rose.